Peekaboo! This is Norm the teacher again. I'm going to do another video for you, and today's video is on bulletproof shields, handheld bulletproof shields, and some of their advantages and disadvantages and all that. And before I start, this particular one is made out of A36 steel, 1/8 inch thick, and this bullet dent was done at by this gun, a 45 1911 style ACP, 45 ACP at 10 yards. And as you can see, it only made a little bit of a dent. It did not split the back end. And I'm going to talk about these shields and where you can use them and where you shouldn't use them for your benefit. Okay. To start with, this particular shield here, I made out of Kevlar. This sheet here is 12 inches by 18 inches. And this particular one is not made out of Kevlar, it's just made out of a sheet of steel. And the Kevlar I use is this. I ordered it from a company, and notice that the fibers are not really well fixed. They can spread, and so what I'm going to do, or what I do when making the panels, is I use epoxy paint. But that's going to be a different video. Right now I just want to talk about the shields. Where you might want to use a shield would be, let's say you're sitting at a desk as a stationary guard. And you're just sitting at a desk, and you're sitting by the front door of some business, and who knows, any moment somebody could walk in, draw a gun, and shoot you. Well, in a situation like that, a shield might be a good thing to consider. Other situations where you're walking around a lot and having to carry around this shield all the time, might not be such a good idea. It could be kind of awkward. So you have to determine when a shield is good for you and when it isn't. And that's just one example, being a stationary guard sitting at a desk. A little bit about these shields. I'll move the gun out of the way now. And here's the side. First of all, I want to give you a close-up of that dent. Right there. So you can see how deep it is. And then here's the side view where you can kind of tell yeah, there we go, how deep it went. And I have to move this over from my other camera. I'm filming with two cameras here. Okay, so as you can see, the dent's not real deep. And it did not split the back side. I have not had a handgun yet. Even my 44 Magnum has not been able to penetrate 1/8 inch A36 steel. The 44 Magnum makes a dent a bit deeper than this. The 45 Magnum dent would come about out to here, but it still doesn't split the back side of the metal. So 1/8 inch thick A36 steel, so far for me, has held up. I've tested all kinds of rounds on a different panel of metal that I have. I've only shot one round at this shield, because I think having a bullet dent in my handheld bulletproof shield gives it class. It gives it character. So that's that. Okay, a little bit about the design of each one. Again, just plain 1/8 inch A36 steel. I put a tab on the top here to hold the camera. And I have a couple of supports on the bottom, the front and the back, so that it sits like this. It sits well. Now, if you're a security guard sitting at a desk, you can have this in front of you with the camera on, and that's not really the best camera to use. A better camera to use is my body camera here. This is a MuFi body camera. I paid $160 for it. It has enough memory in it where I can film continuously for 10 hours, and it only uses up half the memory. And then it has a 10-hour battery. These cameras here that take double A's, their battery life is very, very limited. Maybe an hour, 15 minutes from a brand new battery. And then you're dead in the water. So, a little bit about the camera. So, the back side of the thing. These two supports here are for my arm. When I toward it, this of course is for the hand. And let's see if I can get that. Here's how you hold it. In case you're mobile and you're in a gunfight and you're using this shield for protection, that's how you would hold it. If you're a security guard sitting at a desk, it might just sit there. And this gives you a little bit of coverage of your face and chest, in addition to the bulletproof vest that you should be wearing as a security guard. And some protection's better than none. In a gunfight, you might or might not want to be using this. It might be in your way. Here's what it looks like when you hold it. Hopefully this will get on camera for me all right. So here it is. I'm in a gunfight. Got my 9mm, let's say. Bam, bam, bam. You hold the shield with one hand and you shoot with the other. Now, one might say, well, that's bad because you only have one-handed hold on the gun. Well, not really. You can use the shield as support. I got this part of my hand against the edge of here, and that serves as some support. So, it's not really where you have to be shooting one-handed. Now, if the thing is in your way, and you really need it out of your way, just chuck it. Chuck the thing. You're fighting for your life. Optimize everything that's going on. If this is in your way, chuck it. And forget about the camera being on there and possibly getting broken. You're fighting for your life. Okay, so that's this metal shield. The nice thing about the metal shield is that it's bulletproof to handgun ammunition. I don't know about a Smith & Wesson 500. I don't own a Smith & Wesson 500, so I haven't been able to test it yet. 1/8 inch steel. I have a feeling that the 500 would probably go through the metal. But you never know for sure until you test it. Okay, so that's a little bit about this metal shield. One advantage of it, it's cheaper to produce. This Kevlar, this 12x18 sheet of Kevlar, hopefully that's all on camera now, and me, this 12x18 sheet of Kevlar cost me $80. There's 24 layers of it. And there's 24 layers of it, of this stuff. As you can see, the fibers kind of separate, so you have to stabilize it with epoxy paint. And here's a test panel that I made. 24 layers stopped in 9mm, and I had the 9mm at point blank range like this. Okay, and it stopped it. Full metal jacket, ball ammo, target shooting ammo. As you can see, it dented it in the back, and it stayed right about there. Get this here from both my cameras. Hopefully yeah, you can see that. And then the other camera. So it went through several layers and stopped right there. And that's point blank range, 9mm. As a matter of fact, it was this gun here that fired that 9mm shot. A Taurus G2C. Okay, and here's one. It was only 12 layers, and you can see it went through. So I'm going to have another video on how I make these panels, so I won't go into a whole lot of detail right now. Okay, so anyway, the design of this particular one. How many minutes am I at on this video? 9 minutes. Okay, this particular one here, take you to the back side here, or better yet, I'll turn it around. I think the lighting is better. Kind of the same basic design as the back of this one. The reason for these two prongs here is so that if I'm holding the thing vertically like this, and I can hold it either this way or this way. That's the reason for that tube steel there. I can turn the target, and then or not the target, but the shield, and this prong rests on my arm. If I didn't have this prong here, it'd be very difficult for me to hold this thing up here. It'd be a lot of strain. So that's the reason for this prong. These looks like football goalposts. Woo! Kick right through the football goalposts. Okay, so I probably don't even need the prong on the other side. Means I'm left-handed. But anyway, that's the reason that they're there. The design of this one, it's framed in rebar. But then on the top and the bottom, I have a threaded rod. And I won't go into all the details of the design of that, but it's such that I can have the rebar on this side and rebar on this side, and then this nut, I can tighten this nut, and it spreads the cloth so that it's nice and taut, like you see here. So I think, so that's a little bit on, okay, now me again. That's a little bit on the, man. I'm shifting things around here to get the best lighting, folks. All right, so that's it on bulletproof shields. If you're a stationary guard, be sitting at your desk and have that in front of you. Why not? It could be some extra protection. I've got it designed so that they stand upright. This one here has a tendency to lean toward the rear, so I have these right here. This one here, I had to weld a couple of supports here and here. Another thing about this one, I'll show it to you. In addition to this being a support to keep it from falling forward, guess what you can do if you get into hand-to-hand combat? You could turn it like this and go whoosh, maybe poke somebody in the eye or the face with this support. So your shield is actually acting as a little bit as a weapon. And of course, a camera. I haven't put a camera support on the big one yet, but I'm going to. The reason for the camera is to document everything so that it can justify any deadly force that you use. So that's it, folks, on these shields. I'll go into more detail on another video on how I make those panels. So long for now. Subscribe if you want to be notified of future videos. And hit the like button if you liked what you saw or learned something.